Blue-white control on Spartz side versus Obzon from Jadine. And, you know, we keep seeing these matchups where Jadine's playing against other fair decks, and she's always ahead.
I think she just knows these matchups really well. On paper, I'm just thinking, give me this cryptic command
I know.
deck. And Jadine's just beating them all up.
Right, and this one especially, you see like 2 Sphinx's Revelations, 4 Cryptics, some Elspeth Sun's Champion. You're thinking, man, I don't want to play Obzon against this.
Yeah. Bunch of Supreme Verdicts, just clean answers, and Path Exile for Tarmogoyf.
Right now, Michael Spartz on a lot of lands. He's taking 2 damage a turn off Lingering Souls. Jadine is stuck on 3 with a full grip of cards. She'll go for Tireless Tracker. And does she have a land to follow it up? Yes, and it's Marsh Flats.
Yikes.
Huge.
Yeah, that is really good.
Michael going to crack a fetch here now. He could always Sphinx's Revelation or something like that on end step. Goes down to 12, getting a basic. If he's getting a basic, I think he's planning to spend his mana.
One would assume.
Yeah, Sphinx's Revelation for 3. He'll go up to 15.
Yeah, he really wants to find a Supreme Verdict to get that tracker off the table, clean up these spirits.
And while he's tapped down, Jadine's going to go ahead and crack that fetch land to get another clue.
Yep. Good play there by Jadine. Wouldn't expect anything less.
4 mana. There's a Supreme Verdict you wanted, and it delivers. Board is clear. 7th land here from Spartz. Jadine's going to crack one of the clues. Looking for something somewhat specific. She draws Verdant Catacombs.
That one's probably not the something specific she was looking for.
Yeah, well, land 5's not terrible in her deck as long as she has creature lands in play, but right now it doesn't appear that she does.
Right, and the Marsh Flat's not one either. If she still had the Tireless Tracker, that would have been a pretty good draw.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. She'll play the land and pass.
One of the cards in her hand is an Abrupt Decay. That one's not doing anything for a minute. Covers things like Search for Escanta, which is one of the better tools for the blue-white control deck in the matchup. Unfortunately, you don't really get to play cards that answer that and Celestial Colonnade.
You know, Ryan, I am sad about something you said yesterday, and I know looking at these Sphinx's Revelations in Michael's deck, he said that this is might be the last Modern tournament where we see Sphinx's Revelation.
I'm pretty jazzed about that.
I love that card.
I don't like that card in Modern.
So I'm not saying it's good, but I love casting it.
Sure.
And you're right. I think when we get Jace the Mind Sculptor, I'm not sure we're going to see any more Sphinx's Revelations get cast.
I'd be just pretty surprised if people were still clinging to that one.
If you want to draw cards, there's this great way to do it.
Yeah.
It's Jace. Liliana of the Veil, first an Inquisition of Kozilek. Jadine tried to clear the way, but it was deprived. And Liliana's going to work. She's going to plus it. Michael discards a island. Jadine discards a forest.
Yeah, despite that Rev for 3, that Deprive was the only piece of counter magic, apparently.
But Detention Sphere will clean up the Liliana.
Well, given the Detention Sphere, it's possible that Michael is hiding another piece of counter magic in hand. You just have a clean answer to Liliana.
Yeah, it is, but Jadine's got Abrupt Decay. That's not going to be countered. Hit Detention Sphere, get that Liliana back, plus it again. Land's gone, hit the graveyard for both players, and Jadine's last card is Grim Flare, empty-handed now.
I think Michael on 1 card, drawing up to 2.
Yeah, well, remember he has 2 Sphinx's Revelations in his deck, so another one would certainly work here.
Yeah, the card I'd rather draw that he only also plays 2 copies of is Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, how about this, though? Celestial Colonnade will take care of Liliana.
That's not a bad exchange. Gotta figure the Grim Flare is a 4/4 here. It'd be surprising if there was no Delirium. We saw a Planeswalker, instant, and land all hitting the Bandit Creature as well, so that'll do it.
And a sorcery.
Yeah.
So those 5 types, it probably has Delirium.
That seems like enough. Hopefully the top card of the deck is good before she sets up from there.
And not going to get a hit. Here's Blessed Alliance taking care of Grim Flare, but the top card was good for Jadine. It's Lingering Souls. She will cast and flash it back, get 4 1/1s, and will pass back to Michael. He can just leave Colonnade up as a blocker, which works here.
Yeah, that stems the bleeding quite a lot. Yeah, not quite enough damage output. Michael at 15. You can jam with the souls. 1 gets blocked. That's only 3, and it's 1 less every turn. That's just not really enough. Having 4 spirits stops you from getting hit by Colonnade.
Yeah, now he's going to attack with Colonnade. I think Jadine will accept those terms.
Yeah, with her on 17 and Michael on 15, she kind of likes just cracking back.
Yeah.
She's winning that race, assuming nothing changes. There was a second Colonnade played for Spartz. If he gets to a point where he can activate both, that changes things some.
Liliana, the last hope for Jadine. She will -2, put 2 into the graveyard, but she has a choice of creatures. We see Grimflayer. Wait, is that it? Tireless Tracker.
It's an interesting choice. With no lands in hand, the tracker is a less immediate value, but if she starts drawing lands, it gives her redraws kind of guaranteed, which is really nice.
Yeah, she's going to go for that anyway, and actually only swings 2 spirit tokens. Looks like she actually wants to defend the Liliana.
Yeah, that makes sense. The Liliana is good for a lot of value, and if there's some kind of sweeper here, that's the one thing she has going on.
Activate Colonnade for Spartz. He's still attacking here as he goes at Liliana. A spirit token jumps in the way.
Yeah, he really wants to clean up that Liliana.
Gideon of the Trials. He'll plus on Tireless Tracker and play the last card in his hand. It's a land.
With no creature lands, that means Jadine can't crack in for lethal at the Gideon.
Yeah. So now Jadine has no bad draws, though, because Tireless Tracker has survived.
Right. There's some bad strings still, but everything is at least worth something.
Yeah, I guess Inquisition of Kozilek is dead.
Right.
Swings 2 spirits, the Gideon down to 2. Jadine draws Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, just hoping to fade a Supreme Verdict here. Then she's in a pretty good spot because the Gideon can't bubble both the Tarmogoyf and the Tracker.
Yeah, Gideon should be taken down in a second here.
And this is one of those spots where you like Jeskai a fair amount better than blue-white control. Being able to go upstairs at the Liliana with Electrolyze, Lightning Bolt, it's a lot better. Also, Electrolyze, just its Lingering Souls is a really nice tool to have available.
I do like that blue-white plays 3 Supreme Verdicts.
Those are good.
Those are good in this matchup, but there's a lot of cards that don't play as well. You know, just 2 Snapcasters. Love to have 4. Gideon will plus on Tarmogoyf if Jadine turns it around to acknowledge it's not doing damage. Now Michael has to decide if he wants to use that Colonnade. Looks like he drew something that makes the decision difficult.
Yeah.
Just a land he'll pass. He'll leave it back as a blocker.
Yeah, 9 total. That's his 10th mana source. He's building up to be able to activate both Colonnades. You kind of want to try to bluff something, but once Jadine's able to successfully attack, your bluffs kind of run out, so you can't really do too much in that regard.
Yeah, now to get a double Colonnade activation, you need 12 mana, so he's 2 off. -2 on the Liliana the Last Hope. Jadine lets it go. The only creature in her graveyard actually is that Grimflayer.
Without a land, the Tireless Tracker can't reasonably attack into a Colonnade.
She's going to swing the spirit tokens all at Gideon of the Trials. Now, Michael has the ability to activate Celestial Colonnade here and block one of them, and Jadine accepts. Gideon down to 1.
And she's able to more freely attack with the spirits now that the Liliana was -2. She doesn't need to do any blocking.
Lingering Souls and Grimflayer was her cast.
And her battlefield is just getting ever wider.
Yeah. There is 1 more spirit token there.
Yeah, it'll be trivial to take care of the Gideon from here, and you put a lot of pressure on Michael to solve this board. He's already gone through multiple Cryptic Commands, at least 1 Supreme Verdict, maybe multiple of those as well.
And this is where, you know I'm preaching to the choir here. I want more Snapcaster mages. This is the part of the game where, I mean, drawing 1 is just the best. It's your best draw all the time.
And when you talk about even having all this mana, yes, Sphinx's Revelation starts to get really good here. Problem is Michael had to cast it earlier. You're just going to have to cast that card before you want to. So much of Modern is focused on proactive elements. And you just have to be committing game actions. You can't hang on to that card as much as you could in Standard, for example. So you just want Snapcaster Mage because you're going to have to cast it quickly, but you'll have access to whatever tool you want, and it's just more efficient.
3 spirit tokens. Jadine's trying to knock that Gideon down. Counting, does he have the mana for 2 Colonnades? I don't believe he does yet.
Yeah, still 1 shy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, he can activate 1 and then use the first one he activates to activate the second.
That's reasonable in the face of removal spells, but...
Yeah. He will trade 1 Colonnade with Grimflayer, and Gideon gets hit down by the spirit tokens. We go back over to Michael. Gonna fan out those lands. Sphinx's Revelation, maybe? If he draws his other Rev, oh man, this is a game.
Could be Snapcaster for Revelation. Sets 2 mana aside here.
Yeah, Snap.
But you might just have to Verdict. Oh, Search for Escanta is much worse than those cards.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have much time either. Jadine is going to put him on a 2, or is it a 1 turn clock? Let's count it out. Goy for the 6, 7. Trackers 3, that's 9. Spirits, hey, that's 13. I think that Colonnade has to block.
Yeah.
Jadine drew Fatal Push or anything like that.
Yeah, that would seal it.
That would do it. 18 minutes remaining. These players are in game 2. If Michael can get this one, it's going to be a fast game 3. A full swing from Jadine. Activates Colonnade for Michael. You know, this Tireless Tracker, he is not on the trail right now. He is looking for clues and just can't find anything.
Not much of an investigator.
Yeah. And he runs into a Colonnade while looking for clues, and Michael goes down to 3.
But if your tracker's not investigating, that means that you're drawing spells, and hey, that's not bad.
Search for Escanta will transform into Escanta the Sunken Ruin.
More importantly, seems to have kept the card and is going to draw it. That's scary.
Yeah.
There's very few cards that are wanted right now.
Supreme Verdict. That's one. Now, Jadine has flashed back that Souls again, so she doesn't have another threat immediately. We'll see if she can deal 3 more damage.
Likely some more creatures hanging out, considering her attack was lethal previously, and she didn't have, say, Fatal Push for the Colonnade.
But she could lose from here because Michael has enough mana where he could cast the Supreme Verdict, and he'll get to use Escanta on the end step. It's not very long before that Escanta finds him the other Sphinx's Rev, and when he does, I don't know that Jadine can get 3 damage across. Dark Confidant and Tarmogoyf. And Souls, she's committing.
Yeah. It'll be more than 3 that she'll need if a Sphinx's Revelation happens.
Yeah, I think she knows that, so you see her just committing a huge board again.
Michael doesn't seem thrilled about what he's found. I know that there is a Spreading Seas available in the 4 cards here.
Yeah, if there were a creature land, he'd actually would be happy to draw that. But right now, he needs a Supreme Verdict, a Snapcaster Mage, or a Revelation. I'm not sure anything else works.
You can't grab Snapcaster Mage with Escanta, so even if you found that.
Non-creature, non-land card. We see Escanta the Sunken Ruin here. He'll take Jadine to the trials. I suppose as one of Elspeth's Son's champion would be okay here as well.
You'd much rather have that than Gideon to the trials, I'll tell you that much. Gideon Jorah would even be preferred.
Does he play one?
No, I don't know if there's one in the list. I'm just saying this card is not good in this spot. It looks like the Planeswalkers are Elspeth's Son's Champion and Jace, Architect of Thought that are otherwise available.
Main phase, he's going to activate Search again. Snapcaster, Serum Visions, Condemn, and a land. You know, and there's a lot of things. He could find a Cryptic Command, too. He plays 4. With 2 Escanta activations, if Michael dies on the next turn, it feels like he really hit the bad end of variance.
Well, he churned through a lot of that stuff in the early game.
Okay, so it might just not be there.
The story here, I think, is just how well Jadine navigated through those early turns. She made Michael burn through all those cards, and he can't find them because he already used them.
Yeah, 3 cards now. He main phase activated Escanta again. He's going to Path to Exile away the Dark Confidant. Okay, that means he's not. If he's making a play like that, then he's not dead.
It suggests that he has the Tarmogoyf covered and he's concerned about extra cards.
Yeah, he maybe has a. You know, did he take the Condemn?
It's like
okay, he has Cryptic Command. Okay, so a tap draw.
Yeah, just stopping the extra card off the Dark Confidant can stop these creatures from attacking for lethal next turn.
Yeah, that makes sense. And tap draw, that buying of a turn is good because it also buys another Escanta activation. So it's like tap draw.
Right.
Inquisition. Well, you actually can't take Cryptic Command with that, so Michael might be okay. He's going to counter tap, so that suggests his other card is very much worth protecting.
Right.
I'm trying to think of cards that cost 3 or less that is. So he gave up a draw to protect the card in his hand. So this card in his hand has to cost 3 or less and be better than another random card in the deck.
It sells that he has Condemn in his hand. Now, I don't know if that's a fact. I don't know if he actually has it.
Yeah.
But it sells that kind of card.
And you think Condemn is better than a random draw here?
I think because he has Search for Escanta, the random draw is maybe not the most impactful thing. It's also possible that he just has a very good card in his hand.
Yeah.
I might even protect like a Serum Visions there.
All right, Path to Exile. So Michael actually, he's going to Path away the Dark Confidant. He passed up, it looks like, Cryptic Command. Gideon of the Trials is the last card. That makes sense that that was the card he was holding on to.
Yeah, I got to look Logic Knot and the holdings from there as well.
Yeah.
So it was one of those he was protecting, and those are both good.
I don't know if I'd protect Logic Knot. I definitely would protect Gideon of the Trials.
I'd protect Logic Knot.
Really? Okay.
You just have to not let Jadine add anything to here. Any Planeswalker from here would be devastating.
Yeah, well, he's at 1, so after the hit from the 2 Lingering Souls. Top 4, hey, Detention Sphere. That works. That works.
Yeah, you can Sphere away the souls. Gideon the Tarmogoyf.
It's not pretty, but he's alive, and he's got this counter spell, so he's going to Sphere away the... He spheres away the Spirit Token, but Jadine Fatal pushes her own creature. I love the play. Now, Michael actually still has an answer. We see Fulminator Mage from Jadine. That's fine.
This might be actually excellent, because I think that I saw a Settle the Wreckage in Michael's hand. If Jadine kills one of these lands, the Spirit will be lethal. Wow. That's Settle the Wreckage. The Fulminator Mage was the perfect out.
Oh, my goodness. It was Settle the Wreckage. Jadine gets it. 2-0. Oh, my.